You think it was physically hot?
It was coming out of my body.
So it was like room temperature. It wasn't like it was 180 degrees.
I would
not
say
room temperature, it was body temperature.
It was, 98.6 degrees.
The same temperature as every that comes out of you is my point.
You know how, like, it's kind of spicy, though?
I've never tasted
hotter. It feels hotter. You've never taken a spoonful?
No. But they say white people don't like spicy food, so maybe that's why I haven't dipped my spoon into the... I don't know.
Yeah, I think that possibly my asshole is more sensitive to spice than my
people
mouth
are going to hate
is.
this podcast.
A podcast hosted by two white comedians, a stereotype about the blandest ingredients that childhoods didn't prepare them for life. Sexual tension you can cut with a knife. Podcast. Two white comedians. Podcast. Two white comedians.
We're back.
Back, baby.
We got a special, I don't know what, I mean, this has got to be, she's got to be on. Every podcast needs a dog.
Got it's Dogcast.
Got a podcast dog. She might breathe into the microphone, or at least we'll blame her if I breathe too heavy into the microphone.
Have something interesting to give.
Yeah, maybe. She might.
Is she, does she fart a lot?
No, I mean, if she eats something crazy, she'll fart.
Pooch?
She sleeps in our bed because we're white people, and we allow... This is something I've discovered, is that is a very white thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, my wife will wake up, if she's in a farting period, it's not often. Like once a year, she'll have like a real farty stretch. Mm-hmm. And my wife will wake up and just be like, she wakes up because the fart smell is so bad. That's what wakes her up.
Yeah.
That's what pulls her out of slumber.
Yeah. I've caused that.
Yeah. I'm sure, I might have also, but what's your stance on, does your lady fart in front of you?
Oh yeah.
I know she farts.
We are a fart friendly household.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm trying to improve relations with farts. I'm almost 15 years into it. My wife does not like it. My kids, especially my oldest daughter, loves it. She's like a Def Jam audience when I fart.
Yeah. Does she also like fart and then like fart on purpose? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Big
that's
time.
Great.
For now, I'm sure that at some point this will be ruined.
Right.
But...
The wife know though?
Yeah, not a fan. Does not approve of the mutual fart.
And she doesn't fart. Like
she does, but when she does, she apologizes every single time. Like
that's
a Puritan.
crazy.
I know. By the way, there's nothing she's doing that's more offensive than what I'm doing. Like my farts smell worse. They're louder. My shits are worse. Every part of it is worse. There's nothing coming out of her from there that's worse than what's coming out of me. I have no ground to stand on where I'd shame her for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my previous relationship, I think there was maybe like one fart that I heard in like 9 years. But This one, we're just ripping and roaring.
So I remember when my wife and I first started dating, and I'm talking like, we had known each other for 2 years, and then I went out to her house, and she didn't think it was a date, and I thought it was a date. But it was like, she thought it was like all right, dog. It was a very low self-esteem thing that she didn't think it was a date. It wasn't that she thought, like, it wasn't like she was like, this, I don't want this to be a date. She was like, I don't think he thinks this is a date.
Oh, man.
Which is very stupid. Like, obviously, I'm a fucking red-blooded American man. I thought it was a date. But we, like, stayed up late watching a movie, and she was like, you could spend the night. We did not, by the way. She fucking held out on me for a long time sexually. Wow. The next day, I stayed that night too. And the next day, I had to shit so bad. And I finally, by like the third day, I let it sit for a day. And the third day, I had to do it. It was like we weren't going to make it through. I wasn't going to survive. I was going to burst an intestine.
You're piling up in there.
Yeah, and I remember she was like, I'm going to take a nap, and I was like, perfect. Mm-hmm. I go, do it, courtesy flush, the whole thing, and I'm like, there's no way, whatever time she wakes up, there's no way that she'll come in and it'll be a problem.
Yeah.
And she walks in like seconds after I'm done. And by the way, I just unloaded a 5-gallon bucket on her.
Gotcha. Is that your computer making that noise?
Yeah, I gotta go mute it. I'm gonna go mute it because I don't want to. Okay. I don't want it on the.
Okay.
Go ahead. You talk.
I had I was working on this gal's. It's actually the wife's friend. They have a house, and they had a friend that was like living. There was like a basement apartment, and I was doing some work in that basement apartment for that gal. And I was in it's very small place, like a 1-bedroom, but like it's all very close quarters. And I was working in the kitchen and had just what I knew was going to be a loose shit. And there was nothing I could do about it. Like I clenched and I was like, I gotta do this. And there reached a point where I was like, this is happening. If I don't go to the bathroom, I'm shitting my pants.
Sure.
And have to leave. So I rush into the bathroom, and before I was sitting, I'm squirting hot shit into this toilet. Like, it was so close to being a disaster. I almost shit all over like the back of the toilet.
Have you ever had that where you're like, what? How did that come out at that angle?
I don't think so. I've had instances where shit has gotten places I didn't want it to go.
Sure.
Outside of my pants. That's actually a pretty neat story I can get into if we want to.
Is it like a magic trick?
It's no, it was that was fine. She was in the bedroom. She has to have heard, because it was just a torrent of shit, like so violent. Nothing was said. I almost wanted to say, like, I'm really sorry. There was nothing that could be done about this situation. I'm sure it smelled up the place, because you don't really smell your own nearly as much as other people are going to smell it. But that was a situation. The worst period shit-wise of my life, it was when we were still at the in-laws. I got some crazy stomach thing where for like 2 days I was just like fluid, just fluid coming out of me. But it would be like, I was so sick that I kept falling asleep. And it was a thing where, like, every time I fell asleep, I would wake up having shit the bed.
Jesus.
And
this
so
is at your in-laws?
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, I gotta say, these in-laws, and I'm sure you, like everybody else, you have gripes with your in-laws. These people, you came in as like a 39-year-old man with their 18-year-old daughter. To begin with, I'm not even talking about when you moved in. You were old. You were 30, and she was 18, 19?
We're 10 years apart, so I was 29, she was 19.
Okay, I got to tell you, if I'm a parent, I'm out already.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it either. I didn't want to like be around her parents initially, and they were like all for it. They were more supportive of this relationship than I was. I thought it was weird. It took a long time before I was like willing to go to their. I had like met them before. I'd been at their home, but we weren't dating at that time.
Sure.
And come to find out, they were like wanting her to date me when they met me.
What is wrong with these people?
It's crazy. We get along great now. Everything's cool. But like,
wait, no. Let me say. So then you go, what a long time, almost 10 years dating this woman now. I don't know how many years we were in, but COVID starts. They let you into their home, and then at some point, because of that generosity, you're just shitting outside of their toilets several times.
Okay, not only am I, so we're in an upstairs bedroom. My mother-in-law is weird, but she works from home. Her computer is like just a couple of steps away from our bedroom. So I keep falling asleep, and every time I wake up, I'm just like, no, before I even realize that I've shit again, because I just know that's what, every time I fall asleep, I'm shitting.
Oh my
so I
God.
keep like, don't fall asleep,
like
don't fall
Krueger.
asleep. It's,
Freddy Pooger.
Yeah, I'm having nightmare shits. So I keep waking up just like, fuck. Several times I shit the bed. just destroyed underwear, destroyed sheets. It got so bad that there ended up being like shit on our bedroom door because there was just shit just shit was getting everywhere. And like the amount of things I've been through with my wife were clearly meant to be, because she didn't like it, but like she stuck through.
If she liked it, you might have to divorce her, frankly.
She was helping me out, but yeah, just I probably shit myself and the bed, I would say 5 or 6 times.
That's brutal. It's brutal for you. It's brutal for everybody else, but I mean, obviously, worst of it is your wife.
Yeah.
By the way, if you like this podcast, there might be a couple of you. We're recording this before these ever come out. We're still on test episodes, so we don't know what I'm assuming that the rating for, like, on YouTube. Do you ever see if anyone's familiar with YouTube? They give you a chart that's like, this is when people turned it off. This is gonna be the most. I understand. Not everyone loves, but if you really hate poop talk, bad episode for you. We'll try not to do it every episode, but I got a couple more stories. So I hope.
No, that's great. I love how the one we just did yesterday started and ended with piss stories.
Yeah.
And now we're just right out of the gate.
I know, and I was prepared to talk about other stuff, but so my wife and I went to New York for our honeymoon.
Ooh.
And we found this. We stayed in like as inexpensive a hotel as you can in New York without being in like a flea bag motel.
Yeah.
It's a Holiday Inn, Lower East Side. It's for the money, it's like a great value. Really close to the subway lines. Really in the middle of a lot of stuff. You're like close to Chinatown. You can walk to like the Comedy Cellar. You can get on subways to everywhere from this. Very close to here. Mm-hmm. So it also has right outside of it just an absolute like rundown halal cart. Halal food is like Middle Eastern food or Mediterranean food, kind of like I know what halal, like the official definition, has to do with how they slaughter the animal, but like a halal cart's got a lot of like Mediterranean chicken and rice. Is like chicken and rice there. Halal chicken and rice, it's possible I've never had a food I like more than that. And so we go there that night, and the first trip we take there, eat there like 4 times. So good. In 5 days. I will say we're eating 4 meals a day. So it's 20 meals, 4 of them are this halal cart. And the next time we stay in the same place, and the second night, our second time, we kind of committed to just eating it every night. Mm-hmm. The second night, I have just vicious food poisoning. Like, it's like you like turned a shower faucet on.
Yeah.
And because there's like nothing, it's like it got confused. It was supposed to be in my bladder,
yeah,
and instead is coming out my ass. Like
right.
It's a remarkable volume, I gotta say. I don't know how my body is so efficiently converting this into it's like refining fucking.
Reminds me of another story.
Oh, good.
It's gonna be a half an hour of just torrents of diarrhea.
I have we spent time together after the podcast yesterday. We will talk about that, but yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just like, I might as well. It's like a fucking water rocket coming, and
man.
But I got to tell you, it's so good. We ate there 2 more times that trip. It's
yeah,
so goddamn good.
Man, you should. Do you know the name of the place?
It's just like the halal cart on. I mean, by the way, this is pre-pandemic, so this place could be long gone. But it was Delancey and Essex. Like there's a Holiday Inn right there. It's like just. It's right next to the Holiday Inn. It's the closest one to the Holiday Inn.
Gotcha.
But it's, by the way, it's running on like a car battery and a propane tank. So there's no refrigeration. Right. Whatever's going on there.
Right.
And we
authentic.
We've only eaten it late night. So it's not like we did something different, but it's like there's a white sauce that's presumably some dairy that you're like, whew, this is a bad choice. But then we had fucking won against fate so many times.
Yeah.
And this one time I got really beat up, but it's a lot of times I'll have something like that happen where it's so traumatic that like I can't drink cranberry vodka anymore because I drank so many one time. I threw it up, and it was like that combination of flavors, dude. I will eat the halal cart till I die. It might be what kills me, in fact.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you ever do Jai Thai when that was still running?
Yeah.
I was once at Jai Thai, and it didn't even
For the people listening, Jai Thai was like I would say it was the most like popular at the time Seattle like non-comedy club room.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
But it felt kind of like a comedy club.
was-
the way it was set up was nice.
it had some elements of a comedy club that were nice. It was a Thai restaurant in Capitol Hill, right across the right basically not in the heart of, but where all the Chop Chaz stuff happened. And there's a couple comedy clubs nearby now that are like, both actually are coincidentally both owned by people who had a time ran comedy at Jai Thai, which is
Yeah.
But it was like, and there was a time, by the way, when Capitol Hill, they were more sensitive than other places, but where like they weren't as sensitive as they are now, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm at Jai Thai, and I knew I had to take a shit, but it didn't feel previous to the shit. There was no expecting what took place in the
Sure.
bathroom. I went, I sat down, and you know how you have like, there's like gas as well that's coming out, like
Sure.
it's like back and forth. This was like a thin paste, and I've never produced so much at one time, previous or since. I don't know that this will ever happen again. I filled the toilet to the brim. I almost overflowed the toilet with just spicy shit paste.
Was this after eating at Jai Thai?
No.
I believe the whole restaurant's closed. I think we can.
Yeah.
we can
No,
disparage
I
it
hadn't
as
had food
necessary.
there. I don't remember. I didn't at the time remember eating anything different. Mm-hmm. But it was just like this kind of frothy, hot, kind of like a milkshake, but hot. You know what I mean? Same consistency
Yes.
of a milkshake, but
I always.
hot.
Oh, but it was. You think it was physically hot?
It was coming out of my body.
So it was like room temperature. It wasn't like it was 180 degrees.
I would
not
say
room
it was-
temperature. It was body temperature.
It was 98.6 degrees.
the
I
same
would
temperature
say.
as every shit that comes out of you. Is my
You
point.
know how like diarrhea is kind of spicy though.
I've
It
never
feels
tasted
hotter. It feels hotter. You've never taken a spoonful?
No.
Uh,
But they say white people don't like spicy food, so maybe that's why I haven't dipped my spoon into the diarrhea. I don't know.
yeah, I think that possibly my asshole is more sensitive to spice
Boy,
than my
people are
mouth
gonna hate
is.
this podcast. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Especially like, were you doing a show?
I think it was just an open mic.
Okay.
But this was prior to my set for sure.
Yeah, that's. I used to get the nervous, where it would be like everything coalesced into some cement in my stomach, and that was. I don't get it anymore, luckily, but yeah, it was like every time. It was really bad.
I have that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have to.
Do you get nervous before you go on stage?
Not really anymore. Every now and then, like if I haven't been up in a long time,
Interesting.
I'll kind of get that. But yeah, for the most part, I don't get that.
I'll get nervous.
Often.
Like, I don't really get nervous. I get like dread the morning of a show where I'm like, oh, they're gonna fucking hate me. I know they're gonna hate me.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah, definitely.
either that or it's like something to do with another person on the show where I'm like, this person's audience won't like me, or this guy has similar jokes to me and they're definitely gonna like his better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't get nervous anymore. But yeah, I used to just get like a straight up just a tummy full of applesauce.
Yeah, I don't. It's not like loose. I just now all of a sudden I have to like shit before I leave the house for a show because I know if I don't, I'm gonna have to shit. Like there'll be nothing, and then maybe 5 minutes before I'm on stage, I'm like, oh, I've got like a full poop inside. And I wonder. I bet. Gosh, I wish she could talk. She probably has some shit stories.
But, by the way, yes, this room we're sitting in, when we set it up for my youngest daughter, before she ever slept in here, we worked not from home at the time, and she came up here. She had to shit, but you want to do it, we were trying to be courteous.
Yeah.
So she came in here and just unloaded all over this room.
Oh boy.
It was so on my daughter's bed, like the whole thing. We had a bed set up for. Yeah, it was bad. Okay, let's shift off the ship for now. We
have to.
We can close. We can close with it maybe, but now that we've alienated everyone in the audience from listening to this, we
could like shift this into like the middle of the podcast. We could like edit this.
I don't want to edit that hard. We made a technical error on the last one. By we, I mean I did, but it was more costly than I thought. We lost like 10 minutes of audio, so like 10 minutes of it will have been, if you listen to it, folks, 10 minutes of it was camera audio.
Oh, gotcha.
But there was stuff I didn't want to get rid of. Like that was good. So anyway, we yesterday after the podcast, I went and picked up my kids, and then you and your wife are in the process of deciding when you will have a kid or when you're going to try to have a kid. And you also just haven't seen my oldest in a long time. And, it was like going to be a nice, my wife was working late, so I had a nice opportunity to be like, well, you tell me, because I want to, there are moments like that, 2 kids out at once, where I think like, tell me if these 2 things happened.
Okay.
At the end, my youngest daughter started to scream a lot. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like uncomfortable on behalf of the other people?
Not at all.
Okay, because this is what happened before we had kids. If I heard a kid screaming, I would be like, that's fucking embarrassing. Get that piece of shit kid. And now I'm like, dude, if I'm on an airplane and a kid's crying, I just miss my kids. Like,
yeah.
I don't have any, also like, anytime I'm out and a parent or a kid is misbehaving, unless it's a kid that's like being like intentionally bad, like intentionally mean to other kids,
right?
I'm like, oh, this is like the parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah,
coming true in real life.
No, I am. I'm sympathetic, kind of wholly on that, with a W, not like
I got
not
you.
spiritually. Yeah, like if a baby's crying on a plane or anything, I'm just like, that sucks for them. You know what I mean? But
we also live in a time with noise canceling headphones.
I do wear those on a plane. But like if it's like at a movie and they're not stepping out of the movie, I think that's kind of rude. But other than that,
I gotta tell you, if you're taking a kid to a movie, you're a piece of shit. Like there's no. Especially in the time
hour and a half, that kid's not going to cry.
You can stream this movie in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You can stream it in your home. Mm-hmm. Let the kid cry. Push pause. Like you don't. And to me, that's insane behavior. Even as someone who has kids. And I'll tell you, like when you go to a restaurant with a kid, nobody's happy you're there. Yeah. I'm doing a bit about this right now, but like the server is like, okay, so basically that's a $0 customer. Because they're gonna be more demanding because they're gonna scream, they're gonna piss off, potentially hurt the experience for other customers. I always tip like basically like an extra. I tip like 35%.
Gotcha.
Hold on, I want to talk about the. I want to get back to us going to this pizza place with my kids. Have you noticed there's a lot of anti-tipping rhetoric on social media? I see
it a lot now. Yeah.
Is it because what's your tipping method?
I typically do now like the, especially because it's oftentimes you have the option for like, 15, 20, 25 or 20, 25, 30. I typically just do the highest.
Oh, look at you.
I mean, depending on the like if it's like notably bad service, I'm not going to do that. But typically I'm tipping at least 20%. But I usually like bump it up a bit.
I get very annoyed listening to people talk about tipping culture like it's a thing they've just recently experienced, like cancel culture. It's like this has been around forever.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to be nice to another human being. You've been given and people are like, well, I don't tip because I want the restaurant to pay them a decent wage. And it's like, well, it's going to cost you the same, but you just have to be a dickhead for this one time. And also like, when you do that and you take money just out of the server's hands, you're not proving any points to the fucking restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it like, so tipping is a very like American thing too.
Sure.
Like I've heard people going out, they just don't do it. They get paid more, but it's like, we don't do that. We tip here. And so oftentimes pay at a restaurant reflects that. Like,
right.
they pay less, and it balances out. But I see a lot on like social media, people talking about not tipping.
And then people who are like, they're like, I give this amount, this flat rate, or this is the most I will give, or I do 10%. And it's like, I even have friends like this where I'm like, I'm just like never going to go to a restaurant. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't understand that at all.
If you can't afford to tip someone, also, that's another thing. People are like, I work hard for my money. You can't shame. And I'm like, if you can't afford to tip someone, you can't afford to go to a restaurant.
Right.
Okay. We agree on that.
Yes.
So we go to this restaurant. I tip 4% at the restaurant to stick it to the corporation. No, we went to Camp Clovis Pizza in Tacoma, which I believe is the best pizza in Tacoma. I would like a Yelp review from you live on the podcast, live to tape,
okay.
on the of not only Camp Clovis Pizza, Camp Clovis beer, and Casey McLean's children.
Okay, so starting with pizza, it was great pizza, wonderful pizza, nice and thin. It was floppy, but the underside is still crispy, which is a nice combination. Because when I picked it up, I was like, you think this is the best pizza? And then I took a bite, and I was like, okay, no, you got it.
Yeah.
It's good pizza. I had initially 2 slices and got a 3rd slice. So that should speak to the quality of the pizza.
I've done the 3 slices. Yesterday I did not, but I've done the 3 slices.
Yeah, they were thin slices. I was very hungry. I hadn't really eaten all day. So,
sure. I mean, listen, you're in good company for a 3 slice. I'm not going to judge you at all. So,
loved the pizza. I didn't really have a discussion with the wife about the pizza, but she's like a garbage disposal. Like everything's pretty much okay at worst.
Yeah. Also, pizza, by the way, the worst. I always say this. Like my wife's like. She's like, you hate that place. And I'm like, it's still pizza. Like pizza that I don't like, I like more than broccoli in any form. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair. So pizza is great. The beer, I only had a porter. I liked the porter. The wife had a Kolsch. I tasted the Kolsch, but I had the porter too soon before that. There wasn't a time to cleanse the palate.
Hated
but
the
she
Kolsch.
loved the Kolsch.
She loved
the Kolsch.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's not like a big beer drinker.
Sure.
She's not really a big anything.
Sure. Big garbage disposal.
Yeah, that's fair. She eats like she's a much bigger person. She oftentimes eats more than I do. It's crazy.
I eat like I'm a lot bigger than she is too.
So yeah, beer good, pizza good, vibe good. I like the people there. They're nice people. And then
I will say real quickly,
yes,
customers almost all good. I will say that there were 3 ladies that came in and sat by us that I think not happy to have kids in the restaurant. They seemed unhappy that there were kids. I'm very sensitive. My fucking
generally.
Yeah, my like size. What is that? The seismic reading. It's very sensitive. Like I'm picking up anything when I'm at a place with kids.
Yeah,
and
I think you're just kind of generally like that though. Like you're pretty like.
I'm aware of what's going
and
on.
Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm aware of what's going on and how people are perceiving
You're very considerate.
Yeah. That is, by the way, a surprising adjective, but I do think it's true.
Oh, like you
I don't think everybody that knows
before?
me would think I'm considerate, but I think that if you were to put me in a public place full of people I don't know,
yeah,
I would be making sure not to be in anyone's way or bothering anyone.
Yeah, I think if you spend 2 hours with you at any given time, considerations in there.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. I was saying it falls off the face of the earth and I stop being considerate.
No.
All right.
No,
all
you
right.
pick up on it if you're an observant individual. You pick up on it. So, beer good, pizza good, kids great. Love the kids.
All right.
I love the. I did well talking to the older daughter. I typically I get weird. I never know what to say to kids.
Sure.
But
By the way, my Yelp review of Jess as talking to my kids, not bad. Pretty good.
I think I did. I got some. I think I said some funny things.
Yeah.
And then I got some interaction that was fine. I felt like I was asking appropriate questions. I was trying to think.
So.
Well, no, like for the age, because
gotcha.
I'm like, okay, what do you learn in kindergarten? So can you spell your name? And that's.
Those are 2 good go-tos.
That's good. The younger.
Do you remember my daughter's answer when you asked what she was learning?
She was very quiet initially.
Oh,
so I didn't.
She said she was learning about Martin Luther King.
Oh yes, I do remember.
My daughter's a heroic figure.
I do remember that. I do remember that. The youngest, I really felt like she warmed up to both of us.
Sure.
Because the start was hilarious. The scowl is just.
She hates new people.
It's like cinematic, the way she's like side-eyeing and glaring and stuff. And initially, I was afraid to glare back because I didn't like. Some kids freak out if you're like, if an adult is like seemingly angry with them. This kid loved it.
Oh yeah.
This kid, I was making monster faces, just getting smiles left and right. And by the end, totally different kid. Totally. I feel like I might have changed your kid's life in that time.
She said two things happened recently. One, she had that hand, foot, mouth, as we discussed on the last episode. She was home with us for like 9 straight days. After, by the way, like a holiday season where we had been with her for like 2 straight weeks.
Gotcha.
She got it the day she was supposed to go back to school, to daycare.
Yeah.
So it was like she ended up missing like 3 straight weeks she wasn't in daycare for 3 straight weeks. So the other thing is it's a thing we've learned. Our oldest daughter's so nice, so mellow, so sweet. She would, when she was a baby, she could just we'd just put her in a playpen. She would entertain herself, have a great time. This one, dude, if you put her in a playpen or if she's enclosed or like confined in any way, it doesn't even matter the size of the space.
Yeah.
The moment she knows that she can't, she acts like you just put her in prison for life. Like she fucking loses her mind. So what we did was we had purchased we were trying to give her more space, like a cow, give her more room to graze. And that didn't help at all. And so we took it away and we're like, okay, this is the deal. We're just going to let her, she's going to fall on her face. She's going to hurt herself. But there's and now that she's not constantly confined to by the way, this is, if you were like judging her on cow farm, dairy farm standards, or chicken farm, this is cage-free farm fresh, baby.
Pasture raised.
Pasture raised.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of room. She's got a lot of square footage that was just hers. Still, the gate, the idea of confinement, she lost her mind. So we stopped that, and it's made a huge difference. And we've been able to pull her out of. She was like a real shit, dude. She was. I have not been. I don't pull any punches about it, like on stage and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
It's honest. Like she was. Yeah. But you caught her on not only a good day. In her best period so far. She's made significant progress in the last 3 weeks. And then, by the way, we came home and she had eaten 3 fruit pouches, half a piece of pizza, and we got home, and before she goes to bed, she still has a thing of warm milk, and she fucking
like a cat.
No, like a baby. What do you think babies do? They're you're just gonna be feeding this kid fucking wheatgrass or she has a bottle of warm milk, and she had it and she chugged it, and then we're just sitting watching a show. I got a whiskey in my hand, just relaxing, and out of nowhere just throws 100% of it up onto me, onto my leg, onto my body, onto herself, onto the couch, onto the dog. It was a problem. It was and that's another thing kids do is they just puke out of nowhere some of the time, you know?
Is it still that kind of not bad smelling baby puke?
No.
It's now it's it's grown up puke.
Yeah, well, this one had pizza and fruit pouch and all that in it. It was it was a melange of. This is a second bodily fluids genre of the podcast. Yeah,
these are just the first couple. What's it gonna get into?
It's gonna be bad at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to tell you a comedy story because we could break it up a little bit.
Cleanse the palate a bit.
Yeah, So I did a show at West Seattle Brewing. We talked about, it was an Adam Tiller show at the Everett Improv, which is, by the way, a really cool event. Did you end up doing it?
Yeah.
Really
I headlined there just a couple weeks after you did, I think.
really fun, cool. Like the owner's very nice, and like good crowds. They're not huge crowds because I mean, one, it's an incredibly small space.
Yeah,
but it was
small.
like maybe 2/3 sold out for me. But I mean, that's like, what is that? 15 people or something like that.
Right.
But they were all really fun. It was kind of what was interesting about it is it was like the front row was like 3 in their 20s women who were like obviously very liberal. Second row, or then there's like next to them is like a kind of seemed like leaning conservative. Second row is like 2 full-on conservative tables. Third row is 2 separate gay couples. So it's like a truly diverse audience, not racially, but in every other way. And that was just interesting because like you could watch, and they're all so close, and the room is lit in a way that you could just see whether or not every single person in the room was laughing.
Yeah.
And it was fun because it was like everybody just hung out and had a good time. Like there were some jokes that didn't land with everyone.
Yeah.
But nobody got mad. Nobody was offended. There was no aw or whatever. And but anyway, I do this other Adam Tiller show, West Seattle Brewing, and there I will say like great venue, fun people. I show up and they're like, I didn't know it was an unpaid ticket thing. It's like free tickets. And they wanted to start late, which is a bad, because the room was full. So that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just start while there's people here. Like, let's try to hang on to these people because they don't all seem like they're here for comedy anyway. So let's start while there's people. And then I come to find out there was a large group of dudes that meet up there periodically for like, it's like they're go get barbecue at the place next door to it, eat it and drink at this restaurant. It's like it's not for comedy at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so they were going to eat and leave no matter what at some point. And so I was there with Lynette Manning. Lynette Manning opened for me. Very funny comic, by the way, who I would promote shows she's on, but I don't know when this podcast is going to start releasing. So I know she's at Tacoma Comedy Club like in 2 days, but this will not be out by then. Anyway, she opened for me, and she was having a fine set, but like as she's performing, this group of dudes is dwindling because they get done eating and they walk out. They're like laughing at her stuff, and as they're walking out the door, they're laughing.
Yeah.
They're not leaving because they hate her act.
Right.
But we've started the show. I think it ended up being about 40 minutes late.
Jeez.
And they wanted to do an hour, by the way. And I, as a old grumpy man,
That's crazy.
well, it's gonna make sense why in a moment why they wanted to start it later because. First off, the guy that does understands the soundboard wasn't there because they're moving location. So he was there and he wasn't in the building to make any changes. But he's also, as the table of bros is filtering out, they're slowly being replaced. And when I go up, it's like 6 bros left and like 8 black folks, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just the composition of the crowd changed completely. It was 100% white dudes to like 4 black couples.
Gotcha.
And so I go up and I'm like, and then by the time I go up, it's like, you know, like I said, like 6 dudes left and they're slowly filtering out. And I keep, they're like, you know, enjoying it kind of, but like it's not going incredible. And then I start doing crowd work because it's not going great. And I start talking to these black folks and I'm like riffing and making jokes and all that. And like some of the stuff, it's like they're not offended at all. They just don't laugh. And I'm like, I like made a reference to BET, which is like, get Jess on camera not liking that. I made a reference to BET and it bombed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then whenever I would make fun of the dudes, they would laugh at that. But beyond that, it was like, I felt like I was making references that they didn't connect to at all.
Yeah.
Like just American shit. And then like there was a BET reference that bombed, like as though they'd never seen BET. And then later in the set, like 38 minutes into a 45-minute set, I start talking to this lady in the crowd every single one of them is an immigrant from Gambia,
Wow.
which I have never. I don't even know where that is in Africa.
Yeah.
And we had one funny moment where I was like, does Gambia have good food? And she's like, it's the best food in Africa. And I was like, oh, really? Who are like the next? Who's like, what countries are known for having good food? And she's like, they're all good. And I'm like, so Gambia isn't shit then. It's just like every
Right.
other shit. Yeah.
Right.
It's not the best. You just like it the most because you're from there. She's like, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it was just crazy to me to have a show. It was like, imagine having a shift change in the audience halfway through, and it's not like, it's like the entire tastes of the crowd. When we were talking about Gambia, like at the end, they were fucking loving it and dying it, like all this stuff. But it was like, if you could have just come in and gone like, we're not American, we could have solved a lot of.
Yeah.
You know, I understand why that might
Yeah.
not be a thing that you say very loudly in this country right now. But
Yeah. Is it so much to ask?
please identify yourself as a non-American. There was also this one lady that I couldn't, from the stage, I couldn't tell. As it turns out, she's from like, I don't know, she was from like Denmark or something like that. And it was so funny because she's like, I really enjoyed the show. She didn't laugh one time, but she was like laser focused. And what I realized was she's trying to just gauge how good her English is.
Gotcha.
So, which is probably a great way, by the way, to learn English is to watch American comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
for
it's
sure.
like all turns of phrases and figures of speech and misdirects and shit like that. And trying to figure out why 500 people are laughing at a thing you don't get is probably very motivating. But yeah, dude, it was just wild. I've never had that happen before. I've performed in front of black people, believe it or not, folks. I've done it. But
I've never seen it.
Jess is unhappy about that also, to
I've
find
never
that out
seen
about
it.
me. But yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was very funny in retrospect to just be like, it was like getting the rug pulled out from under you, where you're like, what? I kept like prepping. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this because this didn't go well for Lynette, so I'm going to shift this joke this way. And then by the time I get on stage, it's like a fully different audience.
Full reset.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Man.
Except for one guy. I forgot about this guy. He was heckling Lynette too, but he was like, they were all like supportive heckles, where he's like trying to set you up for a joke. He's like trying to like volley, you know, in volleyball where he's trying to set you up for a spike,
Right.
and you're like,
Right.
you're just really bad at volleyball though. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like me trying to set you up for a spike.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. In real life,
yeah, yeah.
is that you're talking about real volleyball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I played volleyball.
Did you
Yeah, in 4th and 5th grade.
like in PE?
No, we had like school teams
Okay.
in volleyball, and we used a ball that I prefer to a regular volleyball. It's like a big pink ball. It's like much softer to hit, bigger.
Sure. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I play. It's funny because I played in 4th grade, liked it, and then 5th grade, I'm basically an adult now. A lot changes between 4th and 5th grade. My brother, unbeknownst to me, signed up to be the coach
Oh wow.
for the 5th grade. I had no plans on playing volleyball in 5th grade, and then
You
I
were
got
too
a call,
cool for
and then I
volleyball?
got forced into playing volleyball, and he was the coach. He called the first day. I remember he called our principal a psychotic bitch in front of the team.
Hell yeah, coach.
And just won the team over because she was an asshole. But a little side note on volleyball.
I had this experience recently. Speaking of black and white stuff, and feel free to cut in with whatever you got. So, if you're because this is it's third episode, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel already. I discovered this guy on YouTube. We were home a lot more than we expected during the holiday break, so I was like watching a lot of YouTube late at night. And there's this guy. I don't know how to pronounce his channel's name. It's like vertical, but it's verticile. So instead of CLE, it's CILE.
Yeah.
So I think it's verticile. And he's like a Zoomer, whatever, the Gen Z. He's Gen Z. He's younger than us, quite a bit younger than us. And he is or at least recently, I don't know if this is his thing, but he has gone back through and like live commented on Eminem albums that he'd never listened to.
Oh, okay.
He's like a hip hop fan.
Yeah, I've seen similar clips. Yeah.
Which is, first off, you're listening to. It was just a great opportunity. This dog. It was just a great opportunity to listen to old Eminem. Like I forgot. I mean, I'm not like completely stupid, but I forgot how great he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like even the songs, even he's one of the rare guys that like the songs that are on the radio were still like edgy and funny and great.
Yeah.
At points. I do think it's like he's gotten kind of lame. He's like he's too serious now. It reminds you of like the early Eminem, like the Slim Shady stuff, where it's like, I don't know if it was ever defined this precisely at the time, but it was like he had three personas. There was like Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, and Eminem. And these are like supposedly three different characters.
Right.
I never really like. Maybe he said that in a song. To me, like, bring back Slim Shady. Like, this other guy sucks. Like, the rest of it sucks. Yeah. Just bring back Slim Shady. He was the funniest one. But yeah, you're going through those songs, and he's like, you know, he's like 21-year-old ish, like not offended by stuff easily, but still like, like, because I mean, Eminem used to say stuff that you're like, I would like. If this was Canada, you'd be in like a human rights tribunal for the stuff that he said.
Yeah. Such just like unnecessary violence and just kind of like it was like a like when a white guy starts comedy, how they feel obligated to just say like the most offensive stuff. But
it's even like,
more
can you imagine? I always think of it like this, like there's comics with jokes where I'm like, I can't imagine continuing to be married to a woman I talked about that way. You know what I mean? And obviously the mother of his child, Kim, was not married to her anymore. I don't think. Maybe they were at a point, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he would, I mean, like multiple times an album, he would talk about murdering her. It was like, like can you imagine, like I run every joke by my wife that's about her just to be like, is this, if it's on the edge, I'll be like, do you want to like object to this? And she rarely ever has, but I can't imagine being like, yeah, so in this song, I kill you, throw you in my trunk, and put you in the ocean. Is that gonna work for you? Like, yeah, I don't know.
You have had though stuff that was not approved.
Not about her, but about the kids.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes I'll bring it up to her, and she disapproves something about the kids, and I'm like, I've been doing that joke for like 4 months. Like, it might be too late for this one.
Wow. Yeah, I can.
She's got a bad habit of. She's been watching comedy forever, but she still will be like, if I tell it to her and she doesn't laugh, she just like doesn't. She can't see past how bad the like very rough version of it is.
Yeah.
She's like, well, it's not funny right now, so don't do that. And it's like,
right.
Well, I know, but none of them are funny when I first think of them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I am often encouraged to say things about my wife that I don't even like care to talk about.
Is it by people that hate her, like her parents or something?
Yeah. They're like, you ever talk about how she's such a bitch? No, but yeah, there was actually like kind of recently one where she was like, you should talk about this. I'm like, I don't really want to talk about that, but she's an open book, I guess.
Well, I will say she was a comic also. So
yeah.
It's like
yeah,
not
it's definitely different.
Yeah, I mean, at the very minimum, she understands that it's like a little bit like the better the comic, or the more raw the story, the better the comedy. You want to talk about pooping some more, or what?
We can talk about pooping. I thought I had something, and it has escaped me.
Well, that's exciting.
I guess this is where it dies. We had such a good
podcast is over.
We
everybody.
had 2 2/3 episodes of solid gold, and solid gold.
I'd say the first one
and
was like
loose
bronze.
Shits.
Well, I have another one. So when you're a kid, you say stuff that's like unintentionally fucked up. Like, I'll give you an example. My parents used to they would rent movies and then record the movie to a blank VHS.
Yep.
And they would have the warning at the beginning. On the recording, you would see.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
FBI warning.
FBI, it's a federal crime to do this. And I hope the statute of limitations is up. Though I may be frustrated with them at times, I would not like to see them in prison. And we were at like a rental place, and I go, "Are we gonna record these ones too?" As we were like leaving the place.
Oh yeah.
Which at the time, like now that we've been through the era of like true music piracy and movie piracy, like, and I certainly never partook, folks. Listen, as your governor, I would never even consider. Dude, I fucking used to have everything. I'd have bootlegs and stuff long before it even got out of theaters. Do you remember? Did you ever have that, or were you like? Were you in the meth phase when like BitTorrent was around?
In high school, I remember using, was it LimeWire?
LimeWire was one of the. LimeWire was like, it was like fucking before they had discovered AIDS, but like it was hitting people. Where it was like LimeWire, you're like, oh, this is so much better than Napster. And then you're like, oh my god,
Napster was the other one. Yeah,
Napster was good. Kazaa.
I did not use Kazaa.
Morpheus, I believe, was one.
No, I didn't use Morpheus. I wasn't. I didn't adapt well to computer stuff because like high school is like when it was becoming a regular thing that kids had like computers and internet in their home. And I think we got ours kind of late in the game.
Sure.
Thank goodness I took keyboarding. Because I don't know if I would have ever figured it out. Between keyboarding and then AIM. God, do you remember AIM?
I do remember AIM.
What a time to be alive, AIM.
It's crazy because our whole life has become AIM. Like you can be texted, you can be Facebook message, you can be Instagram message. Like there's no
But
stop.
there's not the anonymity that there was with AIM. I liked that. I used to like going into chat rooms. My friends and I would go into chat rooms and do like we'd go into poetry chat rooms, do like rhymes, you know.
Yeah, I'm aware of what poetry is.
Just all kinds of horrible things said. And just no repercussions at all.
I had this moment where
sinking
for what reason I don't know, I was in a chat room and discovered that the young lady I was chatting up went to my high school. Which what are the odds?
Ooh.
And then we figured out who each other was, and like mutually went like, we're good. Like we're both good on this.
Gotcha.
This is whatever was going on in that chat room. There's none of it here. So
interesting. I had a lot of relationships with people on AIM who like I did not speak to in school. It was like I've always felt way more comfortable writing to people. I feel like I need that extra amount of time to process things, and I articulate much better through writing than I do speaking. So if you ever want to start,
anyone that's listened to this podcast is in agreement. I think.
Just hit me up on Messenger or something. We can have a much better conversation.
Yeah. So I can't remember why I got to this. Oh, hold on. I was thinking about this because I'm going to the zoo with my daughter on Monday.
Which zoo?
I'm not telling you, motherfucker. I guess it's long gone, but Point Defiance with her school.
Gotcha.
I've been going to that zoo since I was like a kid.
Yeah, I used to live right by that zoo.
Yeah. And I remember back in the day, there used to be this guy that played for the Mariners named Bobby Ayala. He's a closer. That you know what a closer is?
Not in baseball terms.
Okay. Do you know what it is in any other terms? What? Okay. So you could have just said no, but thank you.
I realized as I was saying it, I don't know what this means.
So a closer is a guy that finishes the game, usually when it's close, and there's They basically do it. It's like there's a stat called a save, where you come into a game with a lead of 3 or less runs, you accrue, and you finish the game without letting the other team tie or win it, and you accrue a save. It's a kind of a stupid baseball thing. It's a really dumb stat that gets overvalued. But there was this guy named Bobby Ayala that pitched for the Mariners. He was their closer when they didn't really have a closer. Like, he was just the guy where they were like, "You're going to be the closer," and for a stretch he was like decent, and then his entire identity became a punchline in Seattle. Where if like you were a baseball fan and you talked about Bobby Ayala, everyone was like, "Fuck that guy, he sucks." If you compared someone to Bobby Ayala, it was a deep insult. You were insulting them and their entire family line. And I was at the zoo, and I saw this man. Bobby Ayala had a mullet and a big bushy mustache, like you, if you were clean shaven besides the mustache, and had a full mullet, just this very identifiable look, but like a kind of generic look for the early 90s,
For the
right?
times, yeah.
Mullet and a mustache was like pretty, and I saw this dude that was just like a generic Italian man at the zoo, and I remember going to my mom, I was like, "That is Bobby Ayala," and she's like, "I don't think it's Bobby Ayala," and I'm like, or she said, "I don't think it's Bobby Ayala," and I'm like, "I'm gonna go ask if it's Bobby." She's like, "Please don't ask him if he's Bobby Ayala," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it's Bobby Ayala," and she's like, "I don't think it is, and it's going to be really embarrassing if it's not." And I went up and asked him, and I got to tell you, this dude, he looks so much like Bobby Ayala. Like, in retrospect, my memory of him is very similar to Bobby Ayala, but was not Bobby Ayala. And my mom was right. I was embarrassed.
How did he take it?
Not good. He was not thrilled to be. I mean, I was young enough that there was no, like, it's like when a kid says that someone's fat and they're really young. It's like, yeah, it's a kid. Tell them not to do that, but I'm not gonna beat the kid up or the parent up.
Yeah.
But.
The Point Defiant Zoo. When I worked at a tavern, and there was a guy that came in all the time. He was a regular. Briefly, he got 86'd. But he like did something with the zoo, and he told me that Point Defiant specifically is like where other zoos send their problem animals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there was a elephant there who might still be there. Elephants live a long time.
Their elephant died very recently.
Oh, really?
Very sad. My daughter loves the elephant.
I had like a 7-minute joke about this elephant.
Also, by the way, if you hate zoos, I understand, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't feel great about them. But for kids, you know what I mean. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But this elephant, I think her name was like Cindy or something. She was moved to Point Defiance because she like crushed a zoo worker, like pinned her up. I don't know if they like were like fully crushed and died, but no, just broke her heart. They were they had a serious relationship. Yeah, she was a real heartbreaker, this elephant. But yeah, apparently now dead. So.
You get what comes to eventually.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's the end of the podcast. Casey McLean comedy everywhere. I'm Jess Everett everywhere.
Yeah.
We got to figure out where we're gonna put plugs and shit, but love you. Bye.
Bye.